every single time you will fall in love once all over again. You know why?
So what inspired you to write in the romance genre?
Specifically on this particular genre, I'll say 2 books I would like to name. One book.
Which Hindi or Indian authors have influenced you? Hello and welcome to yet another enticing episode of Unfiltered Baatein with your host Nowsheen Yaqoob, founder Auracious Global Consulting, and this podcast is being powered by Infobahn. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever loved someone so deeply, so silently, so completely that they become a part of who you were even when life took you somewhere else? Each one of us has a story to tell, or should I say, each one of us is a story. But how many of us have the courage and the decision to come out there and tell our story to the world? There is one such man who has decided, who has written, who has come out with his story, and the man is Anil Agarwal. Now, not every story asks to be completed. Some stories stay with us like a mirage, a distant, beautiful, unreachable, and yet unforgettable dream. Today we are stepping into Mirage with Mr. Anil Agarwal, a deeply emotional story of love, longing, ambition, and the distance between what we dream and what life allows us to hold. Let me give you a little bit about Anil Agarwal, a man whose own life is rooted in the sea, discipline and command as a marine captain and shipping entrepreneur, yet who has written a story so deeply from his heart, from a completely different genre, a genre of romance, love, fulfilling desires, and yearning, longing for that real love. Let's hear about Mirage and more from the man himself, Anil Agarwal. Thank you very much for being with us on this show and giving us your time.
Thank you, Nowsheen. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure is all ours as well. Let's begin the journey to hear all about Mirage and how it happened and how deeply it has moved you in your personal life. Yeah. So what inspired you to write in the romance genre?
Right. Let me first correct you that this is not my story.
Okay.
This is when a writer is writing something, or whoever is writing, right, you don't need to be a writer to write something. We are all influenced by our own experiences.
Absolutely.
It goes without saying, but we are also influenced by what we see around, the stories of the other people, what we have seen happening around us, your friends, colleagues, people in society, somebody somewhere whom you have met and you heard his or her story. So Mirage is an experience which has been collected from various sources. And of course, I had also put in a little bit of my story as well. But largely it has been taken from different places, from different people. It has been inspired from the stories of others.
Right.
It is not entirely my story.
A story of others blended into a bit of your own.
You can say that. You can say that. I mean, I'm sure everybody who has passed through that age must have experienced this feeling.
Absolutely.
At one point or the other in his or her life. So I can't completely deny that whatever has been written in the book, it's absolutely inspired by the others. Yes, some part is there which belongs to my story as well.
Absolutely. At least once we experience this feeling, this emotion in our life that either gets fulfilled or it stays with us as an unfinished dream.
Absolutely.
Right.
I read somewhere that you fall in love, you meet the other person, you have your heartbreak, you have your struggle, you are accepted, you are not accepted. But given the chance, every single time you will fall in love once all over again. You know why? Because it feels so awesome to be in that zone, being the love of somebody or loving somebody. I feel that is what is lying at the bottom of this book.
True. At least love, I would say, is the only emotion we are born with, and everything else is a derivative, whatever we
Absolutely.
experience in
I
our
couldn't
life.
say it better. Yes,
Thank you very much for giving us a sneak peek into Mirage. Now, did you always have a passion for writing since childhood, or this journey began later in your life?
No, I always had. I used to write when I was in school. When I went to college, that time also I was writing, but I was writing in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe a small story, maybe a small poem, maybe writing for the newsletter in the college. But it was never a structured writing. Every now and then, maybe you're writing a travelogue when you're traveling, or maybe when you meet some extraordinary person, good or bad, irrespective, you would like to write about that experience. So those kind of bits and pieces I've always been writing. Some of them are still with me. Some have been lost, during the passage of time.
Right.
But this has been there with me.
And I'm sure that the lessons you have preserved along the way, because they never leave you.
Absolutely. See, everybody is experiencing something or the other in life.
True.
But I believe Salman Rushdie or somebody else of the same stature has written or said that every person at least should write one book in his lifetime. So that is what I followed here. Let me write that
Wonderful.
story which is there somewhere in my mind. And it took a lot of inspiration from the others and a lot of motivation from my colleagues, my friends who guided me, who told me not to give up when you could not write, when you had that block. But slowly, bit by bit, the story completed.
Amazing. And it's so inspiring to hear your journey, because when you believe in your either talent or skill or your story, then how it happens is a process.
Absolutely.
Why has to be clear. Why do you want to write?
Right.
So at some point in time, you realize that now there is no escape. And people who know you would have expected a book maybe on your shipping experiences. Largely, that's the life that you have lived. But it came as a surprise, even to me, who knows a little bit about you. But it's a wonderful surprise. And I have briefly read the book. I would say it's amazing. The emotions have been described so well and articulated really well in your story. So congratulations.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
Nowsheen. When this book came out, and I didn't really launch it, in an event, but I had put an update on Facebook as well as on LinkedIn. So some of my colleagues, my batchmates
Right.
from MBA called me saying, I was the senior person in my batch because I did my MBA a little later. So they used to call me sir, and they still call me sir. I don't know, even the batchmates are calling you sir. That's a, very different feeling.
True.
But this is how it has been established. Rather than calling you by your name, they call you sir. But the other, dynamics and the recipes of the friendship of the batchmates will remain. It's
yeah.
just the name is changed by the sir. So they call, they were in the car, two of them, and they called me, sir, I believe that you have written a book. I never knew that you had such a talent. I said, yeah, I mean, what can I say? You never appreciated. I was trying to pull their leg. He said, what is the genre? I said, it's a romance. I said, this is even more surprising that such a person as of yours, as you, can write such a story, such a such a novel on such a topic. I said, there is more.
Of course, and we are waiting to hear more, to know more, to read more as well. Now let's come to the next one. Which Hindi or Indian authors have influenced you or your style of writing?
Right. See, specifically on this particular genre, I'll say two books I would like to name. One book is called Gunaho Ka Devta.
Okay.
It is written by Dr. Dhanavir Bharti.
Okay.
And second one is called Kasab. If I'm not wrong, it is written by Manohar Shyam Joshi. And these two books are written in such a way, I mean, it is I feel that not humanly possible to write such love stories, so deep, so profound, and so tragic. Every love story has to end in tragedy.
Really?
Beautifully. So I always had that inspiration to write something similar. Of course, I'm not that talented. These guys, they have been writing for so long and they have written the masterpieces. But I thought, why not I give an attempt? In fact, I initially started writing in Hindi, but being away from India and not speaking Hindi on a regular basis, being in business, I couldn't really muster the courage, or I didn't feel that I could do justice to the language.
Right.
So I had given up writing in Hindi and I took up this project in English then.
Amazing. So should we
Even though my English is equally bad, but I thought, why not to give it a try?
No, when did you decide that? We're not here to judge anyone's English. Or I think people who come out with authentic stories, language is not a barrier.
Absolutely.
It's like music,
Absolutely.
you don't need to know the language of the music to understand
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
So beautifully described your inspiration, and we would like to know more about the next genre you would be writing on, but a little bit later.
Right.
How would you describe your novel's story in one line? I know it's kind of, not really possible, but
Right.
if you had to, what would you say?
If I can say, in your life, sometimes, and this is one thing with the youngsters, that you can give up very easily. The young people, they give up very easily. So sometimes when things are not clear, in your mind, it may happen, and I've seen it happening in so many instances, that you would not explore what is possible.
True.
And you will give up, just sitting on the edge. So this unrequited love, which we have the tendency not to follow, and the curse of letting go, not going till the last end, going till the end, will haunt you for the life. And I've seen people taking coaching, medication, consultancy, and this book is all about that, actually. Sorry, it is more than one line, but this is what it is.
No,
all
but
about.
it's an experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
the longing, it'll haunt you for the life.
So now you said the one sentence. We heard the foundation, the story behind it, and now you have summed it up beautifully. Longing. I think most of us, or many of us, would relate to this word, either in the form of some people, they keep resentment with them, they keep unfulfilled desires with them, and then they keep haunting them.
Right.
Till they come to a realization, like yourself, that you have to let some part of it out, so that when you see it outside of you, you see it from a different angle,
Absolutely.
from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
And I believe personally that a story has many dimensions,
Yes.
as we have as humans. So we would love to see and know more layers of what Ravi and Chaya
Right.
have, and how they are like sunlight and shadow,
Right.
running parallel,
Right.
but never meeting.
Right.
Right? Interesting. When did the idea for this story first come into your mind?
This idea was there in my mind throughout, but I didn't have the courage or the time to write it. But in COVID time, in 2020, 2021, I had little time at hand, taking a little respite from the regular business, because everything was going slow. People were working from home.
Right.
So I had some time and opportunity to write a part of it. But then again, when the business came back to as usual, this draft was half written and it was left as it is. Then I would give the credit to my friends. We have a group of mastermind where we meet regularly, and then we take some personal assignments as well. So
Right.
my friends who inspired me to pick up this project once again and start writing, and that's how it got written.
Wonderful. So the friends have been the ignition.
Absolutely. Ignition, motivation, pushers. When you grow up, when mothers are not around, the friends will do this job.
True, true. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is this story inspired by real events, as we started off saying that, or is it entirely fiction?
देखिए नौशीन जी, हम जो कहानियाँ लिखते हैं, बुनते हैं, कहते हैं, सुनते हैं, वो सारी कहानियाँ हमारे समाज का दर्पण ही हैं.
बिल्कुल.
चाहे वो मेरी अपनी आप बीती हो, चाहे वो मैंने आपसे ली हो, चाहे वो मैंने अपने दोस्तों से ली हो, या मैंने कहीं देखी हो, किसी किताब में पढ़ी हो. तो जो ताना बाना किसी भी उपन्यास में बुना जाता है, वो कहीं ना कहीं से तो इंस्पायर है ही.
बिल्कुल.
और इसमें कुछ सच्ची घटनाएं हैं, कुछ कपोल कल्पनाएं भी हैं. तो हर तरह का इसमें सम्मिश्रण है एक.
ट्रू ट्रू. एंड आई थिंक इमेजिनेशन जो है वो हमें एक जो प्रैक्टिकल रियल्म है उससे कहीं दूर ले जाती है. एंड इट्स ऑलवेज फैसिनेटिंग टू सी व्हाट योर इमेजिनेशन ब्रिंग्स टू लाइफ. एंड इन दिस वे you have, I would say, by far succeeded to bring out your imagination and emotions at the same time. So really interesting. I'm really looking forward to reading the entire book as and when we get to know more about it. And और इसके पीछे की जो कहानी है, जो perhaps struggles हैं, जो motivation है, आपने बताया हमें अभी. तो मैं ज़रूर चाहूँगी कि आप हमें एक कॉपी जो है वो present करें.
Present to you, madam.
Thank you very much. And I would like to show it to our audience. Very beautiful backdrop of Dubai skyline.
Yes.
And because largely you have spent a large part of your life here in Dubai, I'm sure there are some stories. कुछ कहानियाँ ऐसी हैं जो वहाँ से भी जन्मी हैं, right? So beautiful. And this book, Mirage, is available on Amazon India.
Absolutely.
Right? And please help us to make this book one of the best sellers. I'm sure once you see and read and get intrigued by this moving, deeply moving emotional story of love, unfulfilled desires, you will want to get your hands on it again and again and again. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Nowsheen ji.
Now, which character in the novel is your favorite and why?
See, normally it is the protagonist, the main character of any story who is the favorite for everyone.
Right.
But here I would give credit to an underdeveloped character who has somehow been in the shadow of the other characters. And that character is Ravi's wife, Rashmi.
Okay.
She has not been, I mean, she's being a side character in the entire story, where the two main characters, Ravi and Chaya, are taking chunk of the, a major chunk of the story. Rashmi has her own struggle, finding her husband, after so many years of being married to him, secretly in love with someone else.
Right.
Whatever that it is. But it is very difficult and very suffocating for a woman to digest this.
Absolutely.
And that's where I find that Rashmi had these very silent struggle in the story.
So from pain to
suffocation, pain to frustration, pain to feeling undermined, pain to feeling undeserving. So all those things.
Unloved at times.
Unloved, yes, absolutely. that is the most
true. Because sometimes when we are, like you said, his wife might have been available all the times. What happens with people when they are available all the time, sometimes in unfulfilled relationships, they become unseen.
Yes.
So perhaps she was going through those emotions as well.
You said it absolutely correct.
Do any of the characters reflect a part of your own personality?
Yes, absolutely. I could relate myself to Ravi to a large extent, and reason for that is, while growing up, we always have had similar encounters, and of course, I had mine also. So I could relate to Ravi, and that's how I have developed this particular character as well.
Right. Yes. So you relate quite a bit to Ravi.
And myself coming from a small town, I could see the struggle, the doubt what he had in his mind about his capabilities, about his love, whether he'll succeed, whether he'll not succeed. Having sometimes the imposter syndrome.
True.
All those things are there. as a part of the character.
And that's what makes it real, raw, and
Absolutely.
authentic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How long did it take you to complete this novel?
This I started writing, as I earlier said, in 2020.
Right.
Then I dropped it for some time. Then later on, with the encouragement of my friends, I started rewriting. Then it was lying somewhere in my
Right.
laptop. Then somebody one day said, "Why don't you publish this book?" And this is how it got published. So I think I could say 4 to 5 years it must have taken very easily.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sure the next one would happen a little faster
Yes, I'm
because
hoping
now
so.
you are in the momentum.
I'm hoping so.
Right?
I'm hoping
Hopefully.
so.
What was the biggest challenge while writing this book?
Biggest challenge for the first time writer, I'll be very candid with you, madam, is that whenever you're writing a story, you are not really sure whether you are able to develop the characters and make the story authentic. Because when I started writing, I thought I'll write it for myself.
Okay.
And whether this book gets published or it doesn't get published, it doesn't really matter. So I thought, let me write an authentic and sincere story about someone's love. But as you develop the novel, on the way, your personal side will also come out. In a sense, now you've seen 60%, 70% of the story is written and you want to publish it, then this imposter syndrome will kick in. It'll say, you have written, but have you really written a worthy story, a story worthy of someone's time? So that was the challenge. And that is why I had been a bit slow in writing this.
Right.
I thought, who is going to write this garbage? Who read this garbage, But then, when I showed the first draft to my friends, the reviews were not that bad,
Right.
luckily. And of course, with some help from the publishers in editing, I think we are able to put up
Of course.
something.
I mean, that's the process. That's the admin stuff that you later on come up with.
Absolutely.
But the theme, the courage to write has to come from within you. So all of the challenges that you described pretty much were internal, right?
Absolutely.
It was the self-doubt
Yes,
that was
it is the
overshadowing
self-doubt. Yes.
the beauty of this story and preventing it from reaching the world.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you finally did it. Do you plan to continue writing in the romance genre again, or
Yes.
we see some other genre?
Yes. See, romance is one topic which never dies. It never gets old.
True.
And I feel that it is one of the easy one also. Reason why I'm saying this, because this is something which we all have experienced. I may not be rich, so it will be difficult for me to write about rich people. I may not be a gambler, so it is difficult for me to write about gamblers. But we all have gone through those stages in our lives where we at least have experienced some part of it, if not to the full extent of this kind of experience. So I want to write about this, but at the same time, now growing older, I feel that we have a human connection. So I would like to write more about the human connections, emotions, feelings of people, the dynamics of relationships, like husband, wife, friends, that kind of stories I would like to
So
write.
you're going into more complexity, yet beauty.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I would put it that way. Have you already started working on your next project?
I did in fact.
Wonderful.
And this time I'm trying to muster the courage to write in Hindi. And I've
Oh.
already started writing in Hindi.
Beautiful.
And if I may disclose the name of the book also.
Yes, please.
I don't know whether this name will remain or we have to change it later. But the name of the book is Parijat Ke Pushp.
Parijat ke pushp. Pushp is flowers.
Flower.
Right?
And Parijat is a plant. तो पारिजात के पुष्प ऐसे हैं कि जो रात को खिलते हैं,
जी.
ये सफ़ेद फूल होते हैं और उनके रेड या पिंक कलर के वो होते हैं स्टंट.
Okay.
तो वो रात को खिलते हैं और रात को ही झड़ जाते हैं, फिर सुबह और फिर दोबारा अगली रात दोबारा खिल जाते हैं. तो ह्यूमन नेचर भी इसी तरह की है. हम लड़ते हैं, हम झगड़ते हैं, हम खिलते हैं, हम प्रॉस्पर होते हैं, फिर नीचे जाते हैं, फिर ऊपर आते हैं. तो ये जो साइकिल है, इसी के बारे में किताब.
I would say every day is a new beginning.
Every day is a new beginning.
And here in your Hindi genre, as you said, it's more about कि रात में खिलते हैं ये फूल, और ये journey, I would say, is more about, or would rather be more about, कि आपकी ज़िंदगी में कैसी experiences या कोई experiences आपने कहीं से ली हैं, stories ली हैं, जो कि शेप होती हैं किसी और शक्ल में.
जी जी
Right, so I'm just putting my thoughts around it. This is just my creative imagination running across कि कैसा होगा. क्योंकि एक फूल जो आपने बोला कि उसकी वो white होता है और red होता है अंदर से, then झड़ जाता है रात में ही और अगली रात में फिर से दोबारा खिलता है. And that is the beauty of us.
जी
जब हम रात में सोते हैं तो ऑलमोस्ट वी वर डेड, राइट? वी वेक अप द नेक्स्ट डे एंड इट्स अ न्यू डे अगेन. द नेक्स्ट नाइट इज अ न्यू साइकिल ऑफ द मून अगेन.
वो जो फूल है, जो पुष्प है, उसकी जो कहानी है, जो जर्नी है, वो खाली एक रात की है. वो खिलता है, खुशबू देता है और सुबह तक झड़ जाता है. फिर दूसरी रात को खिलता है, खुशबू देता है और झड़ जाता है. यही उसकी नीति है. और यही इंसान की नीति भी यही है. हम पैदा होते हैं, अपना काम करते हैं, one day at a time, and then every day is a new day.
Amazing. I'm so glad that you came on our show and shared these experiences, emotions, some challenges with us, and insights into this book called Mirage. I would really encourage our audience to go on Amazon India and order one copy for yourself and get immersed into the love story of Ravi, Chaya, and the backdrop Rashmi. Interesting, intriguing to know what lies beyond these complexities and relationships.
Oh, thank you so very much, Nowsheen ji.
Thank you for
so
giving us your time.
Thank you so much.
Equally, we got to learn so much from you, and we can't wait for your next project and to know more about it.
Thank you.
We'll see you again in the show.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.